Okay, so we are about to start. Actually, we should start now. So welcome again to everyone. We have two new friends today, Shanu, who has introduced himself, and Anika. Anika, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Like your name, where you're from, which school you're studying at, what do you do for your hobby or CCAs? We can't hear you, you're muted, actually. Possible for you to unmute? Yeah, great.
Oh,
Yeah, can hear you now. Would you like to share a bit about yourself first? Just a short introduction.
my name's Anika and I like Uno.
Uno?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically card games? Besides card games, do you do any sports or?
I like to play badminton.
Oh, okay. Shanmu also just telling me he's taking part in the NSG right now. Okay, good. Welcome, Suriko, to badminton enthusiasts. So have you already looked at the worksheet before the class today? Okay, good. You can thumbs up also, it's fine. Okay, so anytime during the class, if you have any questions, you can always unmute yourself and ask. Okay, that's very important. Okay, don't just, if you cannot hear me or you cannot see something happens, you just unmute yourself and say, look, we can't hear you, we lost you. Okay, so let us start now. I'm gonna start my screen. So I can move this. A lot of stuff on my desk suddenly. Okay, great. Okay, so today's session, we're going to cover three different sections, which is part of the exam. Okay, and we've done this before. We've done grammar cloze before. We've done comprehension cloze before. But today is the first day we are doing situational writing. Now, the most important thing is that we're not interested in the answers, the correct answers only. We are interested in everything that is presented in the passage, the other words, the other options, because we want to know why those other options are not suitable. We want to know what are some of the other good phrases or vocabulary that we find in the passage which we can actually pick up. So English is not just about scoring high marks in the exam, it's about picking up the language, increasing or widening our vocabulary. I think that's really important. So that's why we should have a small, like a, you can say diary or small book, where when you learn something new, you write it down. A new word, you write it down. You find the meanings of those words. You write sentences based on those words. Okay. So it's not just about getting the correct answer. That's really, really important. Okay, are you with me? Now, sorry. Okay, so this is, okay. So when you answer grammar cloze, basically you have options, right? They only give you options and you know that. So the idea is to, for me, I like to always write the word in the blank. Why do I write the word in the blank? Because then I can read through it and I don't have to always refer. I write the word and I can write the letter also. Then in the end, the most important thing, of course, is the letter because that's how they mark. It's easy for them to mark. That's the reason. But for us, we are writing the word because when you want to check, you can actually read through and see whether it sounds right or not. Okay. That's the main point. Okay. So obviously in the beginning you can have a glance at all the options there are, and then as you're reading it, when some of the words answers come intuitively. Have you heard the word intuitively? Let me write this down. Intuitively. Yeah. intuitively. It's like intuition. Intuition means you have a feeling, you have an inner feeling. Oh, this must be right. This is how it is. This is how it should be. You know, like when you meet someone and you have a feeling whether is this a nice person or not so nice person. Do you have that feeling sometimes? When you meet someone new, you can have that feeling that, oh, this person is someone I would like to be friends with. Or this person I need to just keep a distance, because you have that feeling, that energy, that vibe is different. So that's called intuition. So when you are reading a passage, sometimes an answer comes intuitive to you, even without looking at the options. And so when you have that intuition, you can write it down, or you look and see if the answer is there, and then you put it down. Okay, so let's read the passage. Can I have someone to help me read the first paragraph? Okay, so since Ange, would you like to help me read first paragraph? You need to unmute yourself and then just read the first paragraph. Just leave the blank, okay? Like one time. 2 seconds. Ange, can you hear me? Can you please unmute yourself, and can you please help me read the first paragraph? Okay. Start. Can you look at the screen, Ange? Can you see the...
Yes.
Okay, can you start reading?
One stormy night, a seaship was wrecked. All the passengers boarded down except Llewellyn Gulliver. Gulliver was an excellent swimmer and swam for many miles. He reached land. When he got there, he decided to sleep.
Okay, thank you.
Gulliver slept
So,
a whole day
okay.
and woke up to find the sun bearing on him. He tried to move but realized he could not. His hair and hands, legs, and body were tied to the ground. He shifted his eyes and saw a little man running him.
Okay, thank you. So this passage, have you heard of Gulliver before? Every one of you? Have you heard the story Gulliver Travels? Okay, in your free time, you can look it up. Gulliver Travels is a famous book about the story of this guy called Gulliver. Of course, it's make-believe, it's a fictitious book. Okay. So one stormy night, blank sea, a ship was wrecked. Intuitively, what would your answer be? Yes, Tommy? Yeah, Tommy, I'm calling on you, but you're muted.
Q. That would be my answer.
No, what's the word?
Q is at.
Why is it at sea?
Because you can't say on sea.
Okay, how about in? There's no in the options, I know, but what can if in was there, can you use it?
No.
I said that you can't say on sea.
Yeah, but how about in?
You can't say in sea.
Okay, but how about in the sea?
That you're basically already.
Okay, in the sea would be inside the water. Okay, when you use at, right, that means there's no particular place. Like, let's meet at the bus stop. It can be the front of the bus stop, it could be the back of the bus stop, it could be the middle of the bus stop. It doesn't matter. Let's meet at the restaurant. That means it's not a specific place exactly, specifically positioned in the restaurant. That means somewhere around the restaurant. So at is trying to show the place, but not a very specific location. Okay, so one stormy night at sea, a ship was wrecked. All the passengers, what aboard, drowned. All the passengers. Shanu,
All the passengers on board.
yeah. So this word on board is they always use together, right? On board means that you are in the place, like I'm on board the bus, I'm on board the ship. Okay, so although it's they are in that vehicle, you call it on board. Okay, on board drowned except Lemuel Gulliver. Gulliver was an excellent swimmer and swam for many miles. Blank he reached land. Anika? He was an excellent swimmer and swam for many miles. Blank he reached land.
Is it answers the answer? I couldn't hear just now.
The answer was not there. Anika, did you answer yet? Anika?
My answer
Before L.
Yeah. Before, so he was swimming before he reached land. When he got there, he decided to sleep. Gulliver slept. Anyone can just unmute yourself if you want to. Yes, just unmute and see. Tommy, okay, unmute yourself.
yeah. So my answer is 4A.
Okay. You slept for a whole day and woke up to find the sun bearing. The sun is on top, so it's bearing down, right? Okay, do you know what's the word bearing? What does the word bearing mean?
Shining. Right.
What does bearing mean? Anyone knows what bearing means?
Something like shining down on him.
Okay, shining down. Let's see whether it's, well, there's no, it's a good substitute, sun shining down on him. But let's say you're sitting, you wake up and you find someone sitting on you. That's also bearing down on you. So bearing means having an impact on you. Okay, it can be his being in his company had a bearing on my studies. That means he had an impact on your studies, help push it in a certain direction. So when something has a bearing, that means something has an impact, something has an influence. Okay, so influence, impact, that's the meaning of the word, the sun bearing down on me. And in this case, yes, it's the heat of the sun. Heat of the sun was on him. Can you see that? Okay, so this is a good term to use when you're doing your composition writing, your narrative writing. You can use, his voice was bearing on, had a strong bearing on us. Or his presence had a strong bearing on us. It made us feel timid. So that's what I meant. When you're doing grammar cloze or vocab cloze or comprehension cloze, it's not about the answers we're looking at only. We're looking at how they use certain words, certain phrases, and that will help us in our own language development. Okay, so as a student, as a learner, we're always looking out for new ideas. We're not just looking at the answers. This is very important. I have to emphasize this. Tommy, you with me? Jason, you with me? Ange, you with me? Yeah. So having a bearing on something means having an impact, having an influence on something. Okay. Now, the next one is, he tried to move, but realized he could not. You see the sentence structure, just short and sweet. He tried to move, but he realized he could not. That's one idea. So one sentence has got one idea. One more thing I want to say is that